these tires in the wet, so that's gonna be fun.
Great, I'm glad to be here for it. What's up, guys? It's Pablo here. I'm here with my friend Grosper.
How's it going?
Obviously, we're here in a Supra. You guys have seen this interior before with Kent's car. This is a completely different build. So we wanted to meet up, talk about it, and then kind of just talk about the passion that we have for cars. So if you want to give a little rundown about yourself and then what we're riding in today.
Sure. So I'm Grosper. I am a car enthusiast and YouTube mechanic. I have no license certifications by any means. I do all the work on the car myself, or try to at least. And so it's 2021 Toyota Supra Mark 5/890/BMW Z4, all same. My plate says
getting the
so
jokes
well.
over with off the
right.
Yeah,
Just right in the back. Go ahead, comment it out. I'm not gonna get bothered about it.
So I know you've had the car for 3 years now.
Yes.
You're into tracking, and I mean, from the outside, you guys can't see that yet, but it is very clear. Actually, you might be able to see the wing. This thing is not stock. So I know you're into tracking.
Yes.
How did you end up getting into that world?
So I didn't get into cars until after high school. So I was pretty late, and that was like, what, 2013, and then I didn't get into tracking until like 2016. So bought my first car ever after I moved here from Mexico. You know, $2,000, wasn't running. 2004 932 Turbo.
Okay.
I had to like drop like $850 to make it run, and it was the first time I ever like wrenched the car.
Got it.
So, and I had to take like I think it's the SIM module that's in the steering wheel.
Okay.
And that was terrifying.
Is that your first time like dabbling into?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like messing around with a car.
Yeah, that.
The other thing I wrenched ever was my skateboard.
Okay. Yeah, that's a little different.
So got it running. I ran that car for a little bit, but yeah, back in 2016, I bought a 2014 Scion FRS.
Okay.
As my first track car. It was that or a Miata, and it was all because of my dad. He's always been into cars, so I was into tracking since he was young. So I got a little late, but he got me into it. And whenever I would visit, he would just go to the track with me. He'd take me out. We'd go hang out, check out some cars. And you know, at first when I was younger, I was like, whatever, bro.
Yeah.
That's a cool car. That's cool.
Yeah. Like it was just there, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
So it was never anything too special. It's just like
Correct.
You grew up around it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, funny enough, I didn't actually, because I grew up in Mexico. My dad was in the U.S.
Okay.
Yeah. So whenever we come visit him here, that's when I would get a chance to go check it out. And even I thought it was cool, but I wasn't into it until after I moved into his house with him for college here. Well, Wisconsin, I guess. And I got immersed into it and started working on cars and just got dabbled. Went to the track with him, but not myself yet. So as 2014 Scion FRS, I started tracking in 2016. First track ever I went to was Road America in Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin. Mm-hmm. Let me tell you, that track's amazing. But the FRS, after turn 14 into the straight, you're gone. You can say goodbye to everybody that has anything more than 4 cylinders.
Okay.
Yeah, so that was very sad. But
so everyone that you're keeping up with on the turns, you get on the straightaway and then they just zoom back.
And you just get used to it. You know, it's like. But at one point, it's funny because they get mad when you pass them in the turns, right?
Yeah.
Because you catch up eventually. Mm-hmm. Well,
you do.
Sometimes. Well, so I'm not that good. I promise, I'm not that good. But I've been doing it for a while, right? And it's always more fun to drive a car fast. A slow car fast than it is to drive a fast car slow, right?
I completely agree.
So that's my dad always taught me that. He was like, when I get into tracking, buy you something with no more than 200 horse. Mm-hmm. And I was very sad. I was like, but Dad, I want something fast.
Yeah.
I want to beat them all. And he was like, no, you gotta learn. You can get a Miata or something else. Yeah. So I got something else because I like Miatas, but at that time I thought the FRS was super cool. Yeah. I was like, hell yeah, I wanted an FRS.
Well, and that's like early days of FRS, because when did they put 2012 around there?
I think 12, 13 they came out with them. So it was still pretty early for those. Mm-hmm. And I mean, same thing. Got made it into a track build. I maxed it out until the point where like it's either you go boost or you just, you know, be a better driver, I guess.
Yeah. So. Is that when the transition to this car ended up happening?
No, so actually I ended up moving to Arizona in 2020. Yes, 2020. And then for a period of 6 months, I owned a 2016 Chevy Cruze.
Okay. Very different from both of them.
But I got the RS because sport things.
Yeah, well, why not?
Just transition between jobs and moving out here, you know, had to step back a little bit.
Yeah.
But after that, in 2020, summer of 2020, I picked up a 2020 Veloster N. Okay. And that was super fun. But very different, right? Front wheel drive.
Those are the little hatchback ones, right?
Yes, so it has 3 doors, super random. People always get confused with that. So a little more from the FRS.
Yeah.
in four-wheel drive was just weird to learn how to drive that though, right?
Especially coming from an FRS. That was me, which my mom is probably watching this. So I would step on it. I had a V6 Mustang before the 5.0 that you just saw.
Yeah, nice.
And I would always step on it, like coming out of turns and whatnot. I knew how to control the car. And then one time she had what was it? The Malibu.
Oh god.
And I stepped on it coming out of like the neighborhood Walmart, and I just remember like hooked and kind of pulled me like into the sidewalk.
Nice.
Nothing happened.
That's good.
But it was like immediate, like a reaction of like, oh, I can't mess with this car.
You're like, no.
The other one's a sports car, but yeah, they're definitely different.
They are. Yeah, there's just different builds, you know, different purposes. Like, Gloucester Inn, I didn't really get to track as much as I wanted to. And after a year, I ended up getting a different job where I was going to be able to actually get something else, and I was very dumb and irresponsible. So as soon as I earn more money, I spend more money.
Okay.
Don't be like me, guys.
Yeah. I mean, that's remember this target audience is a lot of car guys, and that's 90%
that's what
of us.
we do. Yeah. As soon as you make more money, you're like, oh, our car parts.
I bought my 5.0 6 months after graduating college.
Yeah.
It was like, oh yeah, we're free.
So I got the new job. Ended up buying the Supra for my birthday, November of 21. And you know, I got the new job. I was like, hell yeah, got the money, got the promotion. I can afford the Supra now.
Yeah, I deserve it.
Let's send it. I think I looked for like 3 months to find something that I liked and the price range that I wanted, which was 60 basically.
Mm-hmm. What's crazy to me is, so when you switch to this car, this is obviously a different caliber compared to anything you had before.
Yes, no, I mean, this is by far the best car I've owned. Yeah. I mean,
but how does it go from, like, you obviously have the car guy like tick of this is the best car you've ever had.
Yeah.
And it didn't stay stock for long, clearly, because this takes some time because you got a lot done to it. Yeah. So like, is it the tracking you think that led you to be like, okay, I need to add this, I need to add this?
Yes. Yeah. Okay. So my dad always made me build a car for performance, not for looks, right? Okay. But I've always liked the looks part of it, right? So to me, it's always trying to find a mix of what's functional but what looks cool. Or like what I think looks cool. Not everyone's gonna like my build. Completely fine with that, right? But I do it for a reason, right? Yeah. With this car, I actually got competitive in time trials, in time attack, and I noticed that I was not hitting it as good as I wanted to. And then it's a mix of, now that I have the mechanical grip and the aero grip, it's a lot different. And so now I'm trying to grow as a driver again to be able to be on par with the car. Okay. The car has a lot of potential left on track, and I'm still not getting there myself. That takes a lot of like maturity to recognize that. Because I think a lot of us, and especially car guys, are like, you know, I just need more power or whatever. Like, I mean, it's the famous like one of the first scenes in Fast and Furious, right? Yeah. Paul Walker spins out that Eclipse, and he's like, I need 2 of these. I need 2. What was like 100 shot, whatever. Yeah. It's just trying to blow the engine up. It's common. So for you to recognize it and be like, all right, let's catch up before we keep modding this. My God. That's awesome. Something it's all about learning how to use what the car has already. Yeah. And to me, that's where I'm at right now. I'm learning how to use the aero properly on track, and also getting these new tires from XComp. By the way, shout out to the new sponsor for the tires, XComp. Thank you, my guys. One of the things I had told him beforehand is, I mean, a lot of us are into cars, and I think track days and everything seem so distant. Like it seems like a hard thing to achieve because we all assume it's going to be very expensive, and maybe you can't figure out how to work with a brand and stuff like that. Right. So what do you have, or like what do you recommend for someone that wants to get into tracking and stuff like that? So like what are the proper steps to take to get into that world? So, you know, first and foremost, make sure your car is safe, right? Okay. Don't go in a car that's going to be a risk for you and others on track, because at the end of the day, it's not just you, but you're risking others as well, right? But so making your car safe first and foremost. You don't need expensive parts to get on the track, man. You can run any tire, any brake. If you're just learning, don't worry about any of that. Just go do a track day with somebody that has a beginner's course, and they'll teach you a class, right? So Pro Autosport does that, NASA does that. Pro Autosports, if you do beginner's class, they'll basically over 2 days, right? You'll show up. It's usually like, I think 300 to 400 for the weekend for both days. First day, half day, you're in a classroom environment to teach you all the theory, to teach you flags, to teach you all this, how to be safe, right? Okay. And then the second half, you get to follow along an instructor and be on track with your car, following the line, learning a little bit of the track, getting comfortable with it. And that's it, man. Just go. Like, you don't have to wait till you have sponsors for things. You don't have to wait till you have the best tires out there, the best brakes. just start doing it. Like when I got my FRS, I took it stock, just to learn the car. You know, the biggest tip I got, like recommendation, is just take your car as is, and you'll learn what you need as a driver, but also what does the car need. But just do it. You know, get out there, find an organization that can take you and teach you some basic things, and start doing it. You know, do it once a month, do it once every 3 months. Like,
no, but I love hearing that, because I think for a lot of us, it's, I mean, those different facets of the car world are scary if you haven't been involved in them.
Yes,
Even like car shows. I remember, like, I've been going to car shows since I got my license.
Yeah.
Like every weekend, and for the longest time, I would just go appreciate the cars and not talk to people, because I figured that no one would want to talk to me.
Yeah.
And then you start talking to everyone, and everyone's super nice and like welcoming, and it's probably the same thing with the track world. I'm just not familiar with it. And
oh my God, the track world. If you need tools, if you need help, any tips, like most of the time, the coolest thing about being on track is, regardless of who's there, doesn't matter how much money you make, what you're driving, you're all there because you like being a car guy and being on track, and you can talk to anybody.
That's
right.
Awesome.
Like that's, I don't know. Do you know Randy Post?
Yes.
So I text him. Like we're friends. We're family. He's a family friend. Like I've done the One Lap of America with him twice.
Okay.
So like he's an incredible guy, and I was intimidated, right? I'm like, man, Randy Post, no, he's famous. He's a famous race car driver. He doesn't want to talk to me.
Yeah.
Like, but he's awesome. And whenever like I'll send him my videos from the track and be like, hey man, can I get some pointers? And he'll look at the video and he'll be like, hey, you suck here, or you do great here, or do this instead, right?
That is so cool to hear.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I'd be scared of even the guys with like no name.
Right.
But then you get someone like that, and they're like, no, this is just, they want to welcome people into the sport.
Man. And like, so just go. Honestly,
Just go and start learning.
Yeah, you're not gonna push your car enough to really need more brakes or to need more sticky tires. Like, just go. Learn the car. Just learn the limits that it already has.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I think to go along with that, one of the things that I find really interesting is, obviously you're submerged in this world. What opportunities have come from the car world that I guess you wouldn't have expected when you started getting into tracking? Because when someone goes on your Instagram and they see that you have a section for the sponsors that have helped with the car and stuff like that, obviously that seems difficult to achieve. Okay. But kind of how did you pull that off? And I mean, just anything else that's come from it that you weren't expecting?
Absolutely. I mean, to me, it's always reaching out. Like I've emailed so many people trying to get sponsorships just to really help me build the car without breaking the bank, right? Because at the end of the day, if I can help myself and help a brand, it just works out, right? Yeah. So the main thing is understanding what kind of partnership can you have with the brand. Like I always take screenshots of my instas on Instagram, and I provide that in an email with a bio. Like, hey, this is my name. This is what I do in a civilian life or a professional life. Tell them a little bit about myself, right? So they kind of get to know me a little bit as a brand, and they know who they're talking to. And then I provide screenshots from Instagram, like, hey, this is my reach on my post. This is, my scheduled track events for the year. And this is my future projects for the car, or like what I would love to achieve, right? And I think that you, as a brand, could help me get there, right? Okay. And I actually, so AWE tuning, so their exhaust and their intake.
They're like some of the most popular for the Supras, right?
Yeah. I don't know if I should say how I got this sponsorship, because I don't want this person to get bombarded, but long story short, I actually reached out to somebody from AWE on LinkedIn. Okay. And they're like, oh, hey, I'm not the right person for this, but here's an email. Email this to them and we'll work something out. I will let them know you're going to reach out. And that's how I got sponsored by AWE.
That is so sweet.
Right? And so it's always finding those opportunities. So same with like Rec Speed, right? I already had some of their stuff. Yeah. And I would always just promote it. Just promote the brand before you even have anything.
So it's just going back to even like, it's just the car community in general. Yeah. It's what you were saying about the track. Go up and talk to people and stuff like that.
Yes.
So just get yourself out there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like don't be scared to reach out to people. Don't be scared to talk to people. I mean, the worst case scenario they say is no, or you're crazy. You know, boo-hoo. You'll try the next person. It's so good.
So obviously, still, it takes something to get one of these cars in your 20s in the FRS and be doing stuff like that. Do you want to tell them a bit about what you do for a living?
Sure, yeah, absolutely. So, funny enough, I did a degree in media arts and game development. So it's a bachelor's of arts, and that I don't use. I don't use mine either. I use it for the Instagram, I guess. But when I graduated college, I was like, man, I want to make video games, right? Just full on nerd. I don't care. I embrace it. But the entry level pay wasn't good enough for me.
Okay.
Like entry level was like 30 grand, and then it would take you like a minute to get somewhere. You had to be like super good and work for these crazy companies to really make good money being a game designer, right? So I started looking around for jobs, and before I moved down here to Arizona, actually I ended up landing a job as a car sales guy for Toyota on Camelback. But the day before I started driving to move down here, I got a call back from a company that was willing to hire me as their IT help desk guy. Because I was been into like PCs and like IT and tech, and like so it's in the family. My dad did it, my uncle does it, my other uncle does it. Like we all do IT, talk IT. And so I was like, cool, awesome. So I called Toyota that day. I was like, hey man, thanks for the job opportunity, but I'm afraid I can't take it. I'll have to go with something else. Yeah. And so I literally drove for 2 days, Saturday, Sunday, from Wisconsin down here. I moved all my stuff. Monday I was at my job doing IT help desk because I don't like to take days off. Yeah, so I got into IT help desk. Within the company was awesome. They helped me grow into like a sysadmin. They taught me a lot. Learned how to do some database stuff with SQL. Nothing too crazy. I'm not an expert by any means. Some networking, and then I was doing like their cybersecurity analysis or like cybersecurity analyst for them for a little bit. Okay. Which again, nothing crazy there. And after a while, I was doing this job that was supposed to get paid like, $30K more a year, right? For this position that I was filling. And month by month, they kept saying they would give me that promotion. Give me that. Because it gave me the title promotion, but the pay never showed up. Okay. I was like, you know what? I love this company. They helped me a lot. I've grown a lot. But it seems unfair. I'm going to go find something else. And so I went into selling solar. Okay. So crazy journey. Yes. So I did that for like 8 months until I got a call from this company where I applied to work there in 2019. Fast forward to 2021, I get a call. Hey, we have a position in Arizona. I was like, dude, it's been like 2 years. Yeah. Like, yeah, we still want to hire you. And even because I had gotten experience doing other things, I came in at a higher pay than what I was going to come in initially. Yeah. I was like, hell yeah. Yeah. Double bonus. So, and someone you already wanted to work for. So yeah, absolutely. And so I did that for a while, and I'm technically still doing it, but I have this thing where I'm doing right now for cybersecurity. I'm currently the operations officer for cybersecurity operations for somewhere, and I'm taking over as director of that role in November. Okay. Now, the pay though, it's funny how that works. It's based on something, not the title itself. Okay. So my pay is about the same as what I was making before with this other company where I was doing ServiceNow consulting. So I was doing ServiceNow development and architectural, just enterprise cloud solution. And now it's like, getting back into cybersecurity, even though the position doesn't pay me what the position should pay because of the title, it's great experience on resume, right? Got it. Yeah. If I have a resume that I did director of cybersecurity operations for 2 years, I can go and get a management position doing cyber now. No, that's crazy, right? And have a little pay bump there. I'm always looking for those opportunities. Like anywhere you can get experience for something better, just do it. Even if you have to take a hit for a little bit, at the end it's gonna pay off. So yeah, at the end of the day, it's a resume builder, also an eye catcher for a young person to be a director of cybersecurity, right? Yeah. So it's one of those things where like, wow, man, I wish I was making more. But then I know it's going to happen. I just have to wait, be patient, learn, be a sponge in the position that I am, because it's like, there's not that much, well, there's some pressure, but there's not that much pressure. I can learn and get some free certifications and then go get a different job, making what I want to make. So, love that. So, I mean, it shows throughout your life. Everything you do is just based on like going for it. Yes. Like you're not really scared to make a jump, move states, move countries. No. It's literally just, hey, I have this idea in my head. Let me go for it. Yeah. And then so far worked out. It's so far so good. It's worked out. I mean, we're sitting in your Supra, which is beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. No, but I love that. I think to end everything off, obviously we're both very passionate about cars, everything like that. Absolutely. Working. What's an advice that you would give to someone younger that is looking to kind of further their career with the end goal in mind of, I do want these toys and I do want to be on track days and stuff like that? Just in general, not necessarily in cybersecurity, but move along in their career. I think there's two sides of this coin, right? Okay. There is the coin of do what you want to do because you love to do it, but but there's also the one like do what's gonna pay you the most so you can get your toys. Right?
Okay.
For me, I was lucky enough to find a balance where I'm doing what I want to do, but I'm also chasing a bigger bag.
Yeah.
So people say, you know, find what you love to do and do it, and then you're never working a single day of your life, right?
Yeah.
Or something like that, paraphrased. So for me, it's just IT is easy. You don't have to get a degree.
Yeah.
You can just get certifications that prove that knowledge, and you can start getting paid, right? And I like IT, so it works out for me. But if you find that passion, just become good at it. Whatever you like to do, be the best at it, so that anybody that needs that thing that you love to do, they come for you. They come to you for it, right? Find the passion and just stick to it, grow in it, and be a sponge. Always learn from people. Learn from those around you. Learn from the job. Find free courses online. Pay for courses on your own. Like, everything's going to help you progress your career overall and help you get to that goal, you know?
I love that. And I think life has an interesting way of working out where as long as you're open opportunity and you're like fluid, I guess.
Yep.
You end up getting into places that you didn't expect to be and you're like happier with. For Tyler and I, it's been the car show. Like super passionate about real estate, extremely passionate about cars, and now we've kind of found a way to intertwine them.
Yeah,
and it's a beautiful thing. Didn't expect real estate to lead me into the car world. Right. Now we're here. And I'm sure just like you didn't expect all these career jumps to lead you to where you are today.
Not at all. No.
Yeah. Like if it was a learning opportunity, take it.
Yeah, if somebody offers you to like, hey, let's sit down over coffee, man, and like I'll walk you through my career. Yeah. And I'll walk you through how I got to where I am and I'm successful, like do it, man. Yeah. Like if you find somebody that you think is successful and you just want to ask them like, hey man, what's your way of thinking? How do you get here? Like just absorb things from people that are around you and surround yourself with people that are successful too. Because, you know, tell me who you hang out with and I'll tell you who you are, right? Yep. The point is, like, surround yourself with people that are going to help you do better in life and they're going to push you to do more and challenge you, right? Challenge is good. Yeah. Challenge will help you evolve and get to higher places.
I love that. I think that sums up pretty much everything. Thank you for coming on and recording the video with us. I'm so happy to ride in this car.
Of course.
I've been seeing it around shows for so long. I guess lastly, is there anything you want to shout out or?
I mean, no, just thankful for all my sponsors and for all my friends and family. And, you know, my girl is super supportive as well. She's also into cars. So she'll come out, hang out with the cars and coffee, go to the track with me. So, yeah, just lucky to be surrounded with the people I have and to the family that I have and my dad for getting me into cars. So,
love that, man. It was a pleasure having you on. And I'm excited to see you at the show here coming up.
Yes, sir. We'll be there.